Summer's almost here, and I'm sure a lot of you are planning vacations and camps and things to do with your kids. But we also need to be thinking about how to maintain our home and prep it to get ready for the summer heat waves that come with it. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's episode, is how to get your home ready for a healthy summer. I'm Christine. I'm a licensed GC here in Southern California and holistic home consultant, helping you build a healthy home from the start. But today we're going to talk about all things summer related. So most of our home maintenance care plans include at a minimum 2 annual maintenance checks, cleanings, and thorough walkthroughs. So consider that a fall season and summer, what we're getting into now. When it comes to prepping for summer heat in just about every climate zone, there's at least 6 things that we want to be mindful of as we are transitioning over from heating to now cooling. So the first checkpoint in your summer maintenance list is going to be your mechanical system. So now that you are done using the heat and you're going to start using the conditioning side, you want to make sure that your mechanical equipment is serviced. So what does servicing your equipment look like? Ideally, at a minimum, you are going to have a professional HVAC company clean out the condensate line. So this is the line where all of the condensation from your unit drains away. But if this condensate line gets clogged or full of gunk or is just nasty, it has the potential to overflow or back up. And that could lead to leaks or just this water pooling around your unit. So you want to have your condensate line flushed. They should also be opening up the front of your equipment, looking at the coil, inspecting and looking at ductwork. What kind of condition is your unit in after it just went through a cold season? So cleaning the coil, this is a really good consideration at least once a year. But this also circles back to why we really like to have mechanical equipment inside of your building enclosure, inside of your home. Because when you are doing a coil cleaning, so this is once the front cover is taken off. So there's coil cleaning materials, but it's not a dry process. So they're going to be spraying water on it and a cleaning solution. So bonus points if your equipment is within a closet or within an accessible area where that water can be contained. So when it comes to the mechanicals, you're transitioning from heating over to cooling. So you want to flush that condensate line. You want to make sure the coil is cleaned, that the inside of the unit doesn't have a bunch of dust bunnies and debris in it, that your ductwork is still nice and clean. This is also when you want to change those filters. Consider it your tune-up for your mechanical equipment. And we'll talk about how to do this in the fall in another episode. But that takes care of your mechanical equipment because it's going to be doing a lot of work over the summertime. Number 2, sticking with the attic theme, possibly if you've got equipment up there, you want to be monitoring the conditions of your attic. And this goes for an attic that is conventionally ventilated, meaning you've got outdoor air moving around in your attic, as well as for sealed attics, if you've got insulation at the underside of your roof deck. Attics are a part of your living space and they need to be monitored and maintained, especially during the summer heat. So when it's 90 degrees outside, it's likely 120 plus up in your attic. It gets very, very hot when you have a ventilated attic where it's not temperature controlled. So you should consider putting in monitoring systems up in your attic. There's humidity monitors that you can stick up there. You can also check the moisture content of the framing up there. There is a device intentionally designed to monitor the moisture content in the framing in your attic. I believe it's called ATMOX. It's a product that's used to monitor crawl spaces in attics. But this is a moisture content sensor for framing specifically. So it's ongoing, continuously monitoring the moisture content in framing. So when you have high humidity, that also increases the moisture content within your framing, which then, if left alone for long enough, could create an issue. So a part of this summer maintenance list is monitor the heck out of your attic. You might find that this summer that your ventilated attic does not actually have enough ventilation, because natural ventilation should be helping with that temperature and humidity control. So that might be something that you discover this summer, but you're not going to know about it if you're not actively monitoring it. So humidity monitoring as well as moisture content monitoring of the framing up in your attic is a really good consideration over the summer months. Number 3 is a simple one and may not need to be checked every summer, but if you haven't done this yet, ensure that your exhaust fans that are in your bathrooms or maybe a laundry room, those exhaust fans should be venting to the outside. I've seen many pictures of even newly installed exhaust fans where the duct is just left on the floor of the attic. So anytime you kick on a bathroom fan to extract all of that humidity after a shower, if it's not connected to the exterior and it's just spilling that humidity into your attic, paired with a hot summer, that's going to be a recipe for a big issue. So make sure this summer that any exhaust fans that are pulling humidity from bathrooms or laundry rooms are exhausting to the exterior of your home and not your attic or your crawl space. Number 4 is going to be a big one in the summer months. You have to get a handle on your indoor humidity levels. Likely your thermostat does an okay job at giving you data about this, but your thermostat is in just one central place. So it's not giving you data about humidity fluctuations in each room. So getting a small hygrometer that you can place in each room is going to give you information about how each room, bathrooms, kitchen, bedrooms, are managing humidity all throughout the summer months. And a good rule of thumb is to keep humidity somewhere around 35 to 55%. Everyone's comfort level is going to be slightly different, but once you start getting to 60, 70, 80% relative humidity indoors, that's a lot of moisture. So it's really simple to monitor the humidity throughout all areas of your home. Maybe you have a crawl space, you have one up in the attic, you have one in a couple of the bedrooms. This allows you to be able to have data about how the humidity is being controlled inside your home. So don't just rely on that single thermostat, spread it out. And these hygrometers are just a couple bucks off Amazon. And what I like to do with them is put a piece of 3M sticky tape on the back of it, and I place these right above the light switches in just about every room. So I can have data at any time, and if I notice that it's spiking, I might need to go check our dehumidifier or start to go down the rabbit hole of why all of a sudden has humidity really spiked. Number 5 on the summer maintenance list is to get outside and walk around the exterior of your home. The exterior needs some love too before the heat wave comes through. And if you're in a climate where you're going to be opening windows and doors quite a bit, it's also a good time to clean those windows and the screens. So those screens are your filter when you have those windows open. So make sure you get them cleaned and check around the windows, see if there's any maintenance that needs to happen. Maybe you're noticing cracks or sealant or something that needs to be buttoned up or maintained around the windows. This is a good time to visually inspect around the windows, but also clean them. So when you have them open, they're not dirty, but also your screens are really clean too. This is also a good time to, when you're walking around the exterior, take a look at the condition of your doors, your exterior doors. You want to make sure that you have a really good barrier with windows, doors, and exterior that's separating your nice, cool living interior space from the exterior heat. And there's quite a bit of heat loss when you have weather stripping around your front door that's deteriorated or it needs to be replaced. Same thing with exterior doors. If you have a garage that's attached to the home, what's the condition of that door? You want to make sure that it's doing its job from an airtight perspective. In the fall and winter months, we're looking at things more through the lens of water infiltration. But equally important in those summer months is air infiltration, because with air moving in, the air brings humidity with it. So the best thing that you can do is control the air. Then you can help manage the interior humidity levels. And number 6 is another one of those annual maintenance items, which has to do with a bit more elbow grease, but this is where you want to be cleaning filters. And the biggest one that gets missed and neglected for years is the coil on your refrigerator. So that does require pulling out your refrigerator, and on the bottom of that refrigerator, you'll see a vent that the cap can come off, and that's where your coil for the refrigerator is. Just like we talked about with the mechanical equipment, your refrigerator should be serviced as well. This is where you'll see a lot of dust bunnies collected because of how the refrigerators are just functioning. It is pulling in some air. So it is a good idea to get all of that debris cleaned off the backside of your refrigerator and then put it back in. This is also the time to check water line connections so that you don't end up with a small drip behind your refrigerator that goes undetected for years. If you keep this a part of your annual maintenance, pulling out the refrigerator, cleaning the coil, you'll be able to spot those leaks well in advance instead of every 5 or 10 years. So on the topic of filters and coil cleanings, you have your refrigerator coils. We talked about your mechanical equipment, cleaning that. Also the screens, which are another filter for your home. Any air filters that are either for air scrubbers, or maybe you have an IQ Air or whole home air filtration, cleaning that, or rather replacing it. But the other filters in your home would be a part of your whole home water filtration. So you can put this on the calendar as going throughout the entire home, cleaning all the coils and replacing all the filters. So often whole home air filtration devices either need to be replaced every year if there's a pre-filter or sediment filter. And same thing when it comes to your under counter water filtration. So this is where you have your spigot and there's water filtration. Typically those need to be replaced every year as well. So it makes it much simpler to just have it one time a month where you're doing all of this filter replacement. And my favorite time to do it is before the summer months when we're going to be drinking and using a lot of water. And then my last thing that I have for you on summer month maintenance list isn't really a maintenance item, but it's a consideration because I know myself included and many families are going to be going on vacation this summer. Consider how you can transition your home into vacation mode. Meaning, are you leaving your home so that the main water line is shut off so that if there's a unknown leak that it's not going to continue to just flood your home? Do you have a whole home leak detecting device that you can remotely shut off the water or get alerts? If you're going to be away from your home for an extended period of time, it's a really good idea to be able to remotely control your water as well as your air conditioning so that the home's not just left in high humidity zone for weeks on end. So think about what that looks like, your away setting for your home when you go on vacation. So that's the bonus that I have for you if you're planning a vacation this summer. But those are the 6 items on my summer maintenance list: maintaining and servicing your HVAC, also monitoring your attic, or if you have a crawl space, making sure that the humidity doesn't go bonkers over the summer. Then we also want to at least do a one-time check to make sure exhaust fans are actually exhausting to the exterior. And then 4th is maintaining your humidity throughout. Get monitors in just about each and every room so that you're managing humidity throughout all of the months of summer. And then number 5 is when you're finally walking around the exterior, looking at windows, doors, screens, weather stripping. How are you managing air and humidity from the exterior? And then number 6 is your filter replacement month. Your cleaning of your refrigerator coils, replacement of all of your filters throughout on the air side, but also on your whole home water filtration and drinking side, just replace all of those filters. So those are the 6 items that I have for you to take care of before summer comes. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so that you can get more information just like this on how to keep you and your family healthy in your home.